Welcome to the Deliverability Deep Dive.
By Mailmodo, and we are your hosts, Jane
and Tom. Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be taking a look at email servers.
Oh yeah.
You know, the things that make sure your emails actually, get to where they're going.
Right.
So we're going to break it down and maybe even talk about setting up your own server by the end.
Okay, sounds good.
So just starting off at the very beginning, what is an email server? What are we even talking about here?
Well, an email server is basically just a specialized computer.
Okay.
You can almost think of it like a digital post office. So like a post office, in the real world, its job is to handle everything related to email.
Okay.
So sending, receiving, storing, and then even filtering out all that spam that we all hate.
So it's not my computer doing all the work when I hit send.
No, your computer is really just the starting point. So once you hit send, your email actually embarks on this really fascinating journey.
Okay.
And it passes through multiple servers before it reaches its destination. And each server plays a specific role in making sure that the email actually gets delivered.
So it's like a relay race.
Exactly. Yeah, a relay race.
Okay, well, I am ready for this email adventure. Take me through it step by step. Where do we start? What's the first step?
Okay, so the first stop on this email journey is what's called the SMTP server.
The SMTP server.
SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol.
Okay.
But you can really just think of it like the initial sorting point in a post office. So it receives your outgoing email, it checks the address, and then it figures out like the best route to send it on its way.
So if I'm sending an email to, like, say, someone with a Gmail address, is the SMTP server just sending it straight to Google?
Not necessarily. That's where things get kind of interesting. So the email system doesn't initially know the exact physical location of the recipient server.
Right.
So it needs a way to translate that Gmail address into a specific location on the internet, like a physical address.
Right. Okay. So how does it find the right spot?
That's where the DNS server comes in, the domain name system.
Okay.
So this is basically like the internet's phone book. It translates those human-readable domain names, like gmail.com, into numerical IP addresses. And those are the things that computers can actually understand.
Okay. So it's like when you're trying to call someone, and instead of like memorizing their phone number,
Yeah.
you just look up their name.
Exactly, yeah. It's way easier to remember names than it is to remember those long strings of numbers.
Absolutely.
So within that DNS system, there's something called an MX record, mail exchanger record. And this basically tells the sending server, hey, if you want to deliver an email to this domain, send it to this specific server over here.
Oh, okay. So it's like a specific forwarding address.
Exactly.
Okay. So the DNS and MX records are how it knows where to go, even if they're using a totally different email provider.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
It ensures that emails can travel seamlessly across different email platforms and reach their intended inboxes.
Okay. So it's been sorted by the SMTP, the DNS server has told us where to go, the MX record has given us the right address. What happens next?
Now, the sending server needs to establish like a connection with the receiving server.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a digital handshake just to make sure both sides are ready to exchange data.
I like that. I'm picturing two servers like high-fiving each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So do they transfer like the whole email at once?
No, actually not quite. To optimize both efficiency and reliability, the email is actually broken down into smaller chunks called packets.
Okay.
And it's almost like sending a large document, page by page, instead of trying to shove the whole thing through the door at once.
So it's like a puzzle. And then the other server puts the puzzle back together.
Exactly, yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so the email has been sent in pieces. It's traveled across the internet. It's made it to the other server. Is it at its destination?
Almost, but not quite. Before an email can land in your inbox, it has to pass through a very important security checkpoint.
Oh, yeah.
The spam filter.
Spam filters, yes. Those can be a little aggressive sometimes.
Yeah.
How do they work on the server side?
So the recipient server will have specialized software that basically analyzes incoming emails for like telltale signs of spam.
Okay.
So suspicious subject lines, sender reputation, if it has links to blacklisted websites, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's kind of like a digital bouncer outside a club.
So are there different levels of strictness?
Yeah, absolutely. Some spam filters are very strict, others are more lenient. It really just depends on the settings that the server administrator has chosen.
Okay, so if the email makes it past the spam filter, then is it finally in the recipient's inbox?
We're very close. The email is now waiting on the recipient server, ready to be retrieved. But here's where it gets a little more technical. So There are different ways for email clients, like those programs you use to check your email to actually fetch the messages from the server.
Oh, okay. So are there more protocols involved here?
Yes, there are a couple of common ones for retrieving email, POP3 and IMAP.
POP3 IMAP.
Okay. POP3 or Post Office Protocol downloads emails to your device and then usually deletes them from the server.
Okay.
Whereas IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, syncs your email across multiple devices and keeps a copy on the server.
So which protocol I use determines if it's only stored on my computer or on both.
Exactly.
Interesting. I never really thought about that. I just use the Mail app on my phone and my laptop and it all appears.
Right, yeah. But behind the scenes, all of that's happening.
Wow. This is mind-blowing. So much is going on behind the scenes just to get an email from point A to point B.
Right. Most people take it for granted, but it's a complex system.
Yeah.
And we've just kind of scratched the surface. Well, that's it for our deep dive on email servers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And a huge thank you to our expert for sharing your knowledge. We'll see you all next time for another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, happy emailing.